Hello and thank you for joining us on Alive News. I am Elizabeth Mutfran. The headlines. The Sultan Christian Association of Nigeria sent important message to INEC and Nigerians ahead of the 2023 elections. USA reaffirms visa ban on election riggers and speaks on preferred candidate. On the foreign scene, top Russian official warns of possible nuclear accident at Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant. And in sports news, ex-Ghana coach reveals Gakpo rejected Ghana for Holland.
Alive TV.
And now the news in detail. The Publicity Secretary to the People's Democratic Party in Lagos State, Honorable Hakeem Amode, has shed more light on the supposed rift between the party's chieftain Bode George and the Lagos gubernatorial candidate Olajide Adediran, better known as Jandor. The media recalls George earlier stated that Jandor flaunted an agreement when he made Nollywood actress turned politician Funke Akindele his running mate. The PDP stalwart insisted that there was an understanding to make Badegbo Road's Vivo Jandor's running mate. Speaking more on the situation in an interview with the media, the publicity secretary of the PDP said that George does not have a problem with the Jandor. However, he is not happy that Funke took what was meant for Rhodes Vivo. The Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammadu Sa'ad Abubakar III, and Archbishop Daniel Oko have expressed their concerns over the conduct of the 2023 general elections. The President of the Nigerian Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs and the National President of the Christian Association of Nigeria respectively urged the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to be impartial in the conduct of the forthcoming polls and allow the interest of the people to prevail. In the same vein, they charged Nigerians to avoid violence before, during and after the elections to promote peace and tolerance. Reports state that the religious leaders gave the advisory in Abuja on Monday at the Inclusive Security Dialogue facilitated by the Global Peace Foundation, Vision Africa, and ADF International. They urged the security agencies and other stakeholders to act collectively to forestall the consequences of the dangers of rigging, hate speech, and other forms of electoral violence and malpractices. The Sultan of Sokoto, represented by Dr. Hussaini Zakaria of the Sultan Foundation, urged religious heads across denominations to use their platforms to discourage youths from participating in election violence. The United States government, ahead of the 2023 general elections in Nigeria, has threatened to sanction politicians planning to instigate violence during the electoral process. The U.S. government also charged the Independent National Electoral Commission to deploy the bimodal voter accreditation system and electronic transmission of results. The political counselor at the United States Embassy in Nigeria, Rolf Olson, gave this warning on Monday while speaking at the Hubert Humphrey Fellowship Alumni Association Annual Seminar 2022 on promoting electoral integrity in Nigeria, prospects and challenges in Abuja. Olson noted that deploying the bimodal voter accreditation system and electronic transmission of vote results sheets in the 2023 general elections will ensure the integrity of Nigerian elections. He further stated that the United States government does not have a preferred candidate in the forthcoming elections. On the foreign scene, the head of Russia's state-run atomic energy agency, Rosatom, warned on Monday there was a risk of a nuclear accident at the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, Europe's largest, following renewed shelling over the weekend. Moscow and Kiev have traded accusations of shelling the facility for months since Russian forces took control of it in March, shortly after invading Ukraine. Renewed shelling on Sunday triggered fresh fears of a possible disaster at the site. Rosatom has controlled the facility through a subsidiary since President Vladimir Putin in October ordered it to formally seize the plant and transfer Ukrainian staff to a Russian entity. Kiev says the transfer of assets amounts to theft. The International Atomic Energy Agency has called for the creation of a security zone around the plant, something Likashev said would only be possible if it was approved by the United States. In sports news, the former coach of the Black Stars of Ghana, Charles Akono, has revealed that Netherlands star Cody Gakpo rejected the West African country. Akono said that the Ghana Football Association attempted to convince the Dutch attacker to represent Ghana owing to his ancestry in the West African country. However, Gakpo flatly rejected any efforts to represent the country. Despite knowing of Ghana's interest in him as an international player, the PSV forward insisted in playing for the Oranges. The Netherlands defeated Senegal in the first Group A match, with the striker scoring the game's first goal. Following his impressive performance in the Dutch Eredivisie, Gakpo has been on the radar of English powerhouse Manchester United. In 14 appearances, the 23-year-old has contributed 12 assists and 9 goals. And with that, we've come to the end of the news at this hour. But before we go, here's a recap of the headlines. The Sultan Christian Association of Nigeria sent important message to INEC and Nigerians ahead of the 2023 elections. USA reaffirms visa ban on election riggers and speaks on preferred candidate. On the foreign scene, top Russian official warns of possible nuclear accident at Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant. And in sports news, ex-Ghana coach reveals Gakpo rejected Ghana for Holland. Once again, I'm Elizabeth Mutrang, and thank you for watching.
Alive TV.